On my last day in Brasilia, I set out to eco-map the Cerrado, the natural ecosystem of the region. The Cerrado is often called the Brazilian savanna and is the second largest ecosystem of not just Brazil itself, but the whole continent of South America. The vegetation is characterized by small trees with a dense undergrowth of straw and bushes, and is adapted to a harsh climate of severe drought and occasional fires during winter, and heavy rainfall during summer. Being such a huge ecosystem means there are lots of different sub-varieties of Cerrado. I am currently in an urban one, in the heart of Brasilia, in the midst of the rainy season. Despite being urban, it seems quite wild and very different from the usual green areas that characterize the city of Brasilia, which I eco-map in a different video. At first glance, the Cerrado looks like a homogeneous and species-poor environment, dominated by straws, ants, abandoned termite hills, and more straws. However, when looking a bit closer, the inhabitants start appearing, revealing a rich and spectacular world. I had planned to say goodbye to the interior of Brazil by counting all the species on 3x3 square meters of land, like I usually do when eco-mapping. However, an approaching thunderstorm meant I had to leave after just 2 hours, being nowhere near finishing the eco-mapping. Despite this, 2 hours in the Cerrado was enough to see some incredible phenomena and learn amazing things. Before getting into these, I want to clarify that the concept of eco-mapping is not a scientific approach, but a way of exploring nature for my own fun and learning, where I build my own knowledge and theories based on the things I observe, a bit like the first explorers. Here are some of the strange species and surprising lessons. The first one is this curiosity, and it illustrates one of the best things about eco-mapping, which is that you'll frequently encounter things you have no idea what are, such as this walking pile of rubble and cotton. Another is these funny structures, which are dry and hard like the branch itself, but look like tiny mushrooms. And maybe you have already noticed the larva, or maybe not. It's quite understandable if you haven't, because nature is so amazing that there are even larvae adapted specifically to camouflage themselves on burnt twigs. I wonder what they eat though. Another curious species is this one. It looks like a semi-transparent dragonfly, and if it is indeed a dragonfly, it goes counter to my previous belief that dragonflies only live in close proximity to water. I've seen ants taking care of farms of domesticated aphids before, where ants provide the aphids with protection in exchange for sugar-rich honeydew. If these are really aphids, however, they look too terrifying to need protection from these tiny ants. Another colorful fellow is this one. It is not only its colors which are outside the ordinary, but also the behavior. Is this a dance to attract a fellow fly? Can two so different looking flies be of the same species? Or is it a war dance to scare off a competitor? Or is he in fact courting this ant? The great thing about eco-mapping is that most of the time I have no idea. Lastly, a huge mystery to me has been how there can be hundreds of termite hills in immediate proximity to one another. And looking closer, most of them seem to be completely abandoned. Where are all the termites? What I learned today is that termites, at least this species, are in fact super fast and sprint into hiding as soon as I approach, usually even before I notice they are there or are able to film them. Furthermore, the termite hills are home to numerous other species such as jumping spiders, other ants, as well as a huge white spider which was also too fast to film. I was so amazed by the surprising diversity of this termite hill that I'll soon do a thorough mapping focusing solely on termite hills. And if you still haven't had your daily dose of termites, have a look at this video of the stunning migration of tens of thousands of termites, which is one of the greatest natural phenomena I have seen, and happening in a place as surprising as the Brazilian Supreme Court. That's it from the Cerrado. I'll release a few more videos from Brazil before returning to Norway. Like and subscribe for more.